Brown, how you doing tonight?
Evening, I guess it is, or afternoon for some. I'm here. I'm leaving a barbecue place. I'm sampling the cuisine at various barbecue places since I have that barbecue product of mine out now. So I'm doing all right. I'm glad to hear everybody is here. I guess that's double here, two different spellings.
Yes,
But
sir. We
anyway,
just
yeah, all right.
we glad to have you in the space as always. As always, you're welcome guest up in the space. I know it's been a little while since we had you up in here, and I wish the circumstances could have been a little bit different. I know that you've been kind of having to handle a lot of nonsense lately. So we just want to go ahead, Judge, and I mean, however you want to start this thing off, because I know you and Dana did a you did something on YouTube. You did a podcast on YouTube. So I don't know exactly how you want to go about getting into the actual topic, but you know, Friday, and like I said, I deleted that tweet Friday. I had a tweet from Black Enterprise that we curated, and I tweeted it out, and I didn't think anything about it. And then later on, I just started seeing all this frenzy going on, and people talking about Cheryl Lee Ralph, and then your name got connected to it. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, let me go ahead and read this thing. And then once I read it, I said, well, let me go ahead and try to do the responsible thing and go ahead and take this tweet off, because I don't know exactly what's going on. Let the judge go ahead, because I know you were pretty much letting everybody know that, hey, I didn't have anything to do with what this woman is saying and this and that too. So we just wanted to go ahead and do the responsible thing.
Okay, well, let me just say this very briefly. I don't know the woman. I didn't meet her. And I say that with a caveat. I've taken, by my estimation, about three quarters of a million pictures with people over the last 25 years. I'm always open to the public, but I don't know this woman. All right. When we checked the timelines, what we came up with is that the studio she said these executives worked for and that she worked for at a time when she had a new show she was involved in, the Moesha show. This studio also had a new judge show. And Morales was the mayor in New Orleans at the time. When that coincides, that's circa 1995, 6, and 7. I didn't have a show then. I wasn't famous then. That would come several years later. And there were reports of a conflict. And the shows that were involved were Moesha and People's Court. There were no black judges at that time. I was not the first TV judge. I was the first black TV judge, male. But the point is all of the colored folk think that she was talking about somebody black. Now, the innuendo or the inference is that it had to be me. So I wasn't even responding to her or what's her name? Ye on, wasn't she with,
Angela
yeah,
Yee.
wasn't she with Breakfast Club? Yeah. And if you remember on Twitter, for the last quite a few years, I have had an animus with Breakfast Club. I called them out, challenged them to a duel, so to speak, and they didn't respond. So anyhow, there's another unreported thing. I can't vouch for it, but apparently this woman's husband, who is an elected Democratic official in Pennsylvania, has been to Memphis in the last few months, maybe 2 or 3 times, and these crooks down here want to keep me out of office. So the woman in question, I don't even know what the woman's name is. It doesn't stick with me, but she says what she says. I don't know her. I have met her. That I don't recall her saying my name, but the presumption is that the good colored folk out there assume that if she exculpates Mathis, who would have come in 3 years, 4 years after this happened, 5 years, they had to be talking about Judge Joe Brown. So that says something about all of us who are Black, Negro, African American, whatever we want to call ourselves, who would assume that somebody had to be talking about somebody Black rather than something else. Now, frankly, and I'll be humorous about this, at the time this was laying out, even though I haven't been to Hollywood at that time, I was dealing with, I think, James Earl Ray versus Dr. Martin Luther King at the time. I was too goddamn fine to have to do this kind of crap. I wouldn't go up and snatch somebody by the neck, turn them around and do that. I'd wine, dine, candlelight, and entertain and do my magic and do what came naturally. So anyway, it's kind of crazy, but I also put it in the context as to those on Twitter who've kept up with me, and thank you for following me. You know, I'm not too big a fan of Kamala Imhoff, aka Harris Imhoff, but I see posted on Twitter today are pictures of Harris Imhoff and this lady in Uganda trying to push their agenda. So
It's Ghana.
Ghana, yeah, Ghana. Uganda's over on the East Coast. Ghana, excuse me. Thank you, my dear ma'am. And you know, by the
Hey,
way,
Judge,
Dana and I are very good friends. We talk hours every night. She talks about her boyfriends, and I talk about, what is this sister up to when she's saying so and so and so and so. I ain't talking about this woman here. We talking about other stuff. She calls me daddy, and I call her daughter, so to speak.
hey, Judge, let me ask you real quick. What type of impact do you think this may have on your chances of being the next mayor of Memphis?
I think it may have been an attack on the chances, but we've got a righteous thing going, and I think it's going to backfire on them and actually do some stuff. Twitter, since it went under Musk, has been lessening the shadow blocking. But whereas I might get a 10,000 this, that approval, I'm getting hundreds of thousands of hits, and it's good for business. You know, they used to say, I don't care what you say about me, just make sure you spell the name right, and that'll work itself from there. So they're spelling the name right. They're trying to get on me, and when the inevitable occurs, what is it? I'm not being this, that, and the other. I'm being a prophet. Not saying I am a prophet, but the bottom line is that, hey, I'm calling the shots. I'm not afraid to stamp on somebody's tootsies and say, hey, you're full of it. This is what's really going on. And when it turns out that this makes me more credible, which when you make me more credible, what you're doing is not really aggrandizing me. You are boosting yourself, because all I am, all I have ever been, and my secret to success is that I represent the people, and the people do their thing through me. And that's what it is. So thank you very much, those who stick with me, those who want to go fly in the direction I'm flying. We will do this because there's hope for us to get our acts together and do what we need to do and get on top of this game.
Yeah, Judge, and I know from the articles and stuff, also saying that you're definitely pondering taking some legal action as well too. And I mean, I guess you would be an expert on the legal matter. So how much of a real possibility is that at this point in time?
I'm talking to my legal representatives, and let's say this: even though I graduated kind of at the top at UCLA Law School and got my doctorate degree from them 50 some years ago, a lawyer who represents himself has either got a fool for a client or a fool for a lawyer. So I'm leaving it to the other folk. And I am taking advice of counsel, all of that kind of stuff, and we'll see where it leads. And interestingly, Yee seems to have put her foot in her mouth, along with her guest, on a recent response. And quite frankly, she wasn't even in it until it came to that. Now she's put herself deep into it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not interested in getting vacation finance. It might be fun. It's been a while since I've taken. But we need justice for the people. This kind of thing needs to stop where they deal with this kind of little flim flam intimidation to silence folk who need to be heard. And when I say folk who need to be heard, I'm not even including myself, but you, and you, everybody I'm looking at on this list that has joined in this conversation on Twitter space.
Okay, Judge. I got somebody that had left a comment on YouTube real quick. They said, "How is he going to file a lawsuit when she never said his name?"
It's called innuendo. INUENDO. Even if you never mention the person's name, if the public connects what you're saying with an individual, that's sufficient. And a simplistic example. If you accuse Trump of doing something, the innuendo would be number 45 did so and so. So the innuendo is, who are you talking about? And what does the ordinary person in the public associate with what you said and who you're talking about? The idea is you want to make society orderly and peaceful. And so somebody doesn't pick up a gauntlet and slap somebody across the face and say, I challenge you to a duel day after tomorrow at sunrise, and our seconds shall meet tomorrow. You say when there is innuendo, so the ordinary person in the public would associate what you said negatively, that defames somebody, that besmirches their character. What would wind up happening is all you need is the innuendo, and if the public associates the innuendo or the inference, that's all that suffices. So I'm not talking about the woman, by the way. I'm not even talking about Yee. I'm talking about the stupid MFs who want to go around and put my picture up next to the accusation, who want to come up and act like dipshits and say it must be him. She excluded Mathis, so it had to be him. And then these are the woke Negroes who are running around being handkerchief head slave folk who assume that the woman had to be talking about somebody black. Now, there are at least 15 judges who put themselves by their circumstances in the category of people that she might have been talking about. It limits itself actually to a 2 or 3. But the idiots who are out there talking about being woke and being black, they have to put themselves in it, or one of the people that looks like them in there, and say it had to be somebody black. That's really pathetic. Really pathetic. It makes me angry that we have dropped ourselves into the dregs of stupidity to assume that something negative has to be associated with us, or that we forget, oh, the last Supreme Court justice conformed has, guess what, is a husband? Or they one a heartbeat away from the White House, now in the observatory, has, guess what, for a husband? See, what's wrong with us? Are we stuck on stupid? Let's wise up. I'm trying to help you.
Absolutely, because it was somebody left a comment in there, talk about I guess cognac is a username saying that woman wasn't lying, and my reply was, "Oh, were you there?" I mean, and this is the kind of stuff that you're talking about because I've seen the comments all Friday and stuff. People just
And
popping
that
off
woman
talking like
wasn't lying. She wasn't lying about who. She didn't mention my name. So why are you stuck on stupid, Negro, to say it had to be somebody black?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know from what they said that and I think Dana, you mentioned is that they have a she has a book that's coming out as well too. Am I correct, Dana?
Yeah, it's called Diva 2.0. So it drops this week and then it's going to be re-released in April with the audio. But yeah, so that comes out this week. She's promoting her book the same way Deborah Lee wanted to promote her book, and she said Bob Johnson sexually harassed her in their 10-plus year relationship. They were both married, still together, divorced, still together. And I guess at one point she wanted to leave and he threatened to fire her, and that's now she's saying he sexually harassed her because of that, which I call BS again. Because, and I said it in one of my videos, you women running around here claiming that you were sexually assaulted or whatever, and you might have been, but you kept quiet and you were in a position of some type of influence and some type of power to actually, have somebody do something about it, and you did not. And you sacrifice your integrity and your body for money in a position of power and to get ahead in your career. So now, years later, you want to talk about what you did with your pussy decades ago? No. And then you want to bring other people into the fold, whether you name them or not? That's a problem.
Absolutely,
And it's
Dana.
always a black man.
Dana, if you could put the judge's link to his actual campaign as well in here too, put in the jumbotron, so people if they want to donate to Judge Joe Brown, they can go ahead and donate. DJ, don't add anything else to the jumbotron. Keep it the way it is, so people can go ahead and find Judge Joe Brown's link. I know you put his barbecue link in there as well too, but go ahead. We're gonna put the campaign link up in there as well too. So don't add anything else. Just keep it the way it is, nice and small. Any of the speakers come up here, don't add anything in the jumbotron. Dana, just go ahead and add when you get a chance, add the judge's link to his campaign. So if anybody wants to make a contribution, they can go ahead and they can do that as well.
Let me add something on that. Okay, I'm supposed to be anti-woman because of these damn fools and their particular little crapped out hustles that they're running. Okay, Tiffany Haddish and I have partnered up financially on this barbecue thing I'm doing. jjbbbq.com. Okay, I push chicken links, smoked or raw, hot, spicy, or mild. And a sister runs the only USDA certified black uh, processing plant in California. It's also along with Poppy's Whiskey, an excellent and smooth bourbon, probably the best I've ever had. And she's a sister. Her name is Michelle Dukes, and she's out of California. And this stuff is hitting Kroger in the Southeast next month. It'll be on the shelves. It's getting on the shelves in California. You can get it at JJBBBQ, Judge Joe Brown Barbecue, right now, online. And nobody gives a damn about all that black enterprise that is trying to do something different, where there's one black man, another black man, and two sisters in the damn thing. And nobody cares because they got a little BS agenda, because they are surrogate little house Negroes for somebody that's got some other plan besides benefit to ordinary people. Now, that is disgusting. And that's what's going on right here, right now. in terms of the colored Negroes that are out there trying to pimp out YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter for financial gain. And they're running with a little smooth, stupid line that ought to be debased and rebutted by any kind of competent journalism to say, hey, the woman never mentioned Judge Joe Brown. The timeline she gives when A, what is it, Dana? She's got a new show. B, this famous TV judge has got a new show. And Mayor Morales, God, is the mayor of New Orleans.
Mark Morial.
Morial is the mayor of New Orleans all at the same time. That is a specific era. And she says, oh, by the way, what is the production company? And she names it. So which production company at what time had Moesha with her in it and a new judge show, or let's put it this way, a resurrected judge show, all at the same time when this man was the mayor of New Orleans? There is a specific timeline, and guess what? That's several years, 3 years before I even came on the scene. Nobody knew me nationally. I wasn't famous. And that interesting thing at the time, I was handling James Earl Ray's matter. In other words, did he kill Dr. Martin Luther King or not, which he didn't. And this is kind of ultimate sleaze to be staking all of these negative opinions. And what is this stupid idiot they had on Yee, or what is it? Yee? I don't even watch that garbage. That woman that was on Angela
Yee.
Yee. And that fool said, yeah, he tells on himself because it's 25 years ago. No, fool. I can do a little bit more math than add up, give you change on a dollar, you know? So, yeah, just do the addition and you'll see what you get.
And here's the crazy thing, like you said too, Judge, like she hasn't named you anything like that, but you got people up here wanting it to be you. Angelique Yeaton, them, they wanted to be you. And the woman hadn't even said it. If she came out next week and said, well, it was Judge Smith, what are they gonna come back and say then? They're gonna say, oh well, we're sorry we insinuated this, we apologize, we didn't mean to smear your name up or whatever. So they got people actually hoping it is you.
Yeah, and see, you know why? Because it's not me. It's all of the real men and real women out there that all I am is a figurehead for. All of these real men, these real women who understand that our job is to generate the next generation so that humanity will continue, so that we continue along this journey from cave to condo and keep prospering and overcome the adversity that may impact us, whether we're white, black, brown, red, yellow. Now, that's what is going on here. We've got some perverted idiots who have some stupid agenda that they're pushing. And I'm getting angry thinking about this. I mean, really, this is not something that's nice. This is, people are dying in the streets every day. I've got a refrigerator sitting out in the middle of my kitchen floor that had to be pulled out of where it was built into the wall. Nothing's been done to it because my repairman had his son shot to death innocently coming out of a store just 2 weeks ago, and he's all broken up on it. I met the young man. He was in his mid-30s. I met him 2 months ago, month and a half ago. You see, this kind of reality is going on. There are people that are dying. We don't have girls doing drive-bys and killing folk. We've got girls working up to that by acting crazy, as you can see. When I retweet something, I don't endorse it necessarily. I just want you to hear the other side of it. So we have the CIA, we had the KGB, and all of the other intelligence organizations so they could find out what their opposition was up to. That's all I'm doing a lot of times when I retweet stuff. But you can see what's out there. It is absolutely horrendous. Everybody who has something to contribute to the pot, welcome. It may be stupid, it may be wise, but you have a right to say it, and I'll defend your right to say it. But we've got some idiots out there that want to keep people from saying anything at all that does not support the party line. And we've got a lot of that out there, and a lot of folk that are trying to do things that block truth going out to everybody. So we have to oppose this. And when we've got what we have relative to me, it ain't me. I'm an old man. I'm wealthy any damn way. I can make $1 million a year if I didn't do anything except fart all day long. Now, what I am concerned about is truth, dignity, and whether I sleep well at night and whether you can sleep well at night. I've had an adventurous life. Damn, I've had some fun. I've had excitement. I've had stress. I've had tension. I've had, all this wild stuff. You go to the movies and pay good money to watch. That stuff has happened to me. And it's been interesting. I don't care whether I go day after tomorrow, unless maybe it's like I haven't completed the mission. But, folk want to F that up because they want you to punk out and play sissy and go along with a BS game that they're running. And by the way, I guess I said that to get around the Twitter algorithms that Musk hasn't quite gotten rid of yet and that still have an influence in what happens. But, be real. Understand that there are punks out there. And we want to get away from saying those words, but they are punks, perverts, and sissies. And they are looking at an opportunity to corrupt everything that happens to everybody else. So being a punk, pervert, or a sissy becomes acceptable. It's not. It's never been in human history. It's always been looked down upon. And it ain't going to change because they have the opportunity right now to get in a word. It's still being a punk, pervert, or a sissy. And we need to start focusing on getting ourselves together. I agree 100% that what this woman says happened to her, if it happened to her, is a disgrace, a shame, and a travesty. But the way these little pimps, hoes, sissies, and perverts are trying to run with the inferences, the innuendo, is disgraceful. And they ought to be ashamed. And we know who you are. And we need to diffuse you, discredit you, put you in a backwater so you can go freak your little sissy asses out. Now, excuse me, I didn't mean to go there. I apologize profusely. I passed the mic.
All right, we got a couple of hands up, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let some of the speakers. We're gonna go to Ray, Mr. Engaging, drop down. So then we'll go to we got Professor up next, and then we'll get to UJ. DJ, hold it down for me for 1 second, all right? You there, DJ? Yeah, I don't know if DJ there or not. So go ahead, Ray.
No,
Go ahead. You got it, Ray.
Oh, what's going on, cuz? First of all, obviously, I want to let you know I support you 100%. That goes without saying. And I saw an
This is
interview with
my cousin.
the breakfast.
All right. We discovered ourselves, but we went through what is it, AncestryDNA.com. We got
Yes,
found
sir.
to be cousins. So hi, kinfolk.
Yes, sir. Small world. I wanted to see if maybe it's just me, but before I knew even who you were, I would notice like they would always kind of take shots at you, the Breakfast Club, because someone brought up the fact that I don't think you ever been on a Breakfast Club, and Charlemagne was talking about how you, I guess, wanted like flights out to go to New York and all this stuff or wherever they were at the time. And I just want to, would you speak on that? Like, why isn't why? Yeah, I mean, obviously, Angela Yee, her saying all this slick underhanded stuff, but why aren't you like getting out more?
Okay, I'm an old man. I'm 75 years old. I was nicely retired, and they suggested that I pay the airline fare, the hotel accommodations in Manhattan, New York, to accommodate them. And I said, well, wait a minute, excuse me. Now, in context, a friend of mine, Dick Gregory, he and I used to talk a lot on the phone. He called me up absolutely disgusted, angry, and I had to calm the brother down. I said, hey, big brother, no, don't let them get you like that. He said, what the hell is wrong with them? Why did they put that damn rainbow flag over my shoulder I didn't know about, like I endorsed that shit? And he was angry. And they wanted me to spend my money to fly to New York for the privilege of paying the expensive hotel bill in New York, for the privilege of being on their show. And I said, hell no. And I challenged them. I said, I tell you what, I'll meet you on neutral grounds and not neutral grounds, and I'll challenge all three of you scoundrels to debate on the issues. Let's screw it. They chickened out. They wouldn't oblige. But thank you, cuz, for pointing that out. I wasn't even thinking about it. See, by the way, may I suggest you take a DNA test? You might find some kinfolk you didn't have. When I took mine some years ago, they gave me less than 400 people who they had tested that turned out to be kinfolk of mine. Now it's over 2,400 folk. So, cuz, I'm glad to see you. And this gentleman right here that you're talking to, my cousin, what are you? You're in the Navy, right? U.S. Navy. You're a chief, right? Chief Petty Officer,
No,
right?
no, no, I wasn't E6.
Oh, well, hell yes. You're retired now, or are you still in?
No, I'm out. I wish, looking back, I kind of wish I would have, because I would have been almost done by now. But I did my time and I hung them up. I'm gonna let somebody else take the reins.
Yeah, but you know what you're talking to? A man who commanded men. And that's what we have so few of. We have posers and fakes who couldn't get a dog to follow them with some special treats in their pocket. But we've got folk like cousin here who commanded men in the line of duty in dangerous circumstances, and we need more of that. Thank you, cousin. I appreciate you much.
Yes, sir. Definitely got to give a shout out to anybody that served in the service and defended this country. So definitely, as always, Ray, we're always proud to have him up in the spaces as well too. So let me go ahead real quick. We got Professor and Jay. We're gonna go ahead and get to it. Anybody else that wants to speak, go ahead and raise your hands. Also in the jumbotron, we have to the very far left. We have the judge's link to his actual campaign. If you guys want to donate, please go ahead and just follow that link that Dana put up there. Click on it, and you can make a donation to the judge's campaign. So, if you want to go ahead and support the judge campaign, his pursuit of becoming the next mayor of Memphis, please go ahead and make a donation as well. So, let me go ahead and get it to Professor. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thank you, News Total. Good to see you, DJ Ray, Judge Joe Brown, good to see you. Dana, everybody. Judge Joe, I just want to say that you have my full support.
Is he talking? Because I don't hear anything.
Yeah, he's talking, Dana. You can't hear him?
No. Oh my
You
God.
can go ahead and go ahead and drop down, and I'll
All
bring
right.
you back up.
Okay.
Go ahead, Professor.
Okay. Um, I just want to say to Judge Joe Brown, you have my full support, and I don't care what Angela Yeast says. Um, really don't know who she is. I know she's supposed to have been part of the Breakfast Club family or whatever they call themselves.
She's not black.
But yeah, she's definitely not one of us, that's for sure. And but yes, you have my full support. And then again, who is Cheryl Lee Ralph anyway? What I
She's
mean,
an
she was in.
actress. She's an
Oh, okay.
actress.
Oh, she ain't
She
relevant then
she
because I
played
don't
the
know.
original. She played in the original Dream Girl. She played Moesha's mom or
Uh-huh.
stepmom on Moesha. Yeah, I don't know if you remember Moesha back in the day, but she played the stepmom on there.
Oh, damn. Anything else outside of that besides this book she trying to promote on
Uh
the Angela Yee show?
she got that new show she's on at Abbott Elementary that she's like a teacher on there. That's what she won an award for. I think some kind of what Emmy or something like that for Abbott Elementary.
In other
She's never
words,
been she's never been a mega star. She's always, if you remember that movie Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy back in the day,
oh yeah, I remember that. But that's only
that was
because of
her.
Eddie Murphy. I don't
Yeah,
remember
she
her
was on
ass.
there.
Okay. Well, anyway, as I said before, y'all, she's not relevant. So Judge Joe Brown, hey, at the end of the day, bro, hey, I'm just looking forward to seeing you become the mayor of Memphis.
Appreciate that, Professor. Appreciate that. We got some of our people coming up. They want to
Thank
speak
you.
or whatever. Let me give
Thank you,
us.
sir. I appreciate that. By the way, I am personally acquainted with Moesha's real mother, Brandy's real mother, all right, and her real father. Some outstanding people, upstanding parents who have dedicated their lives to the advancement of their people. Very outstanding individuals. So I don't know this woman, never met her, never see. Well, you know, my publicist added up probably close on to 1 million people I've taken, selfies with over the years, but it is what it is. But thank you for that. I really appreciate it. It makes an old man feel good, like what you've done for life worthwhile so you can die in peace, you know?
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead real quick and go to that Professor. We're gonna go to Jay, then we're gonna go to is it Torin? We're gonna go Terrain. We're gonna go to him next. So Jay, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yo, what's going on? Can you guys hear me? Coming through clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Man, Judge, man, I'm looking forward to you becoming the next mayor of Memphis too, man. I'm really batting for you as well. When it comes to that situation, when it comes to the alleged allegations that she was trying to hold against you, I mean not hold against you, but making that accusation, they made it so broad that people think it's you. I think what we just saw what happened with the brother Irving, I believe that was who it was, and how he was innocent, that this is actually distasteful, her throwing that out there right now, because we just saw these accusations be proven false via video, and now she's just throwing this accusation out, and we don't even know if she's saying anything true or she's just trying to sell her book. And my theory, I think she's just trying to sell that book. I didn't even know she was promoting the book until you guys said that right now, but I think it's very distasteful looking at what's going on right now and falsely accusing anybody, especially and to me, especially black people, because sometimes you don't get the benefit of the doubt because some people might be racist, say it like it is. But I'm actually looking forward to you becoming the next mayor of Memphis, man. I got to donate some more. I hit your donation a couple times. I got to hit it again, man, because I wish we had a mayor like you over here in Houston, man. Sheila Jackson Lee talking about she want to become the next mayor of Houston. I'm just shaking my head.
Brother, I appreciate it. $$ Judge Joe Brown 2023. We welcome folk to become to what we hope will be the mecca for the United States for black folk and other folk, white, black, brown, red, yellow. It can become the second or third largest city in America in the next 55 years if we work it right, but not when we've got crooks who are dipping into the public till. That's not right. And just because other folk have done it before, I don't buy that excuse as black folks' turn to rip off the public. No, you're supposed to protect the public because the problem you surface that you suffer from is because some people did not protect the public. They used the public for their own purposes and turned the public against itself so that it would be a cover. That is wrong.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I 100% agree with that statement. Oh no, I appreciate you, man. I 100% agree with that. And I think people need to get back to the philosophy that the government is supposed to serve us, and we're not supposed to serve the government. And that's I just want to say that and close out right there.
There you go. Thank you.
All right. Let me give a shout out to Brother McCoo. Brother McCoo, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. Greatly appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get to is it Torin? I want to pronounce it right. Is it Torin?
Yeah, you got it right on the first try, brother. That's good.
Okay. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask a question to the judge.
All right. First of all, man, shout out to you for this platform. Judge Joe Brown, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Shout out to everybody on the space. My question is real simple. You have decades of experience in the legal system, and you also have much experience in entertainment. And over the past couple of years, we've seen this trend where Black men who are prominent in media and also in politics go through this sort of trial by character assassination before there's any sort of evidence about where anything goes on. We saw it with Nate Parker. We saw it with other brothers. We saw what happened with Michael Irvin. We see what you're dealing with. We're seeing what's going on with Jonathan Majors right now. And it seems to be this thing where even if there's no allegations at all, well, there's no proof of anything, an allegation goes around the world before there's any hard evidence when a Black man has been accused. But on the other hand, you have other people from other cultures who are able to get away with things sometimes on camera, and they're still able to work. There's no censorship. There's no any kind of real consequences for that. So what I wanted to ask you is, how can people who are concerned about the character and the reputation of Black men who are prominent, how can they push back against that, and can they push back against it, and how do we do that?
Excuse me, I had a moment getting this off of mute. Study. Pay attention to what's going on. Do your research. What they're doing is relying upon the current methods of mainstream and social media to engage in propaganda. And you put up a false narrative and you say it a whole lot. And there is this truism: tell a lie long enough, loud enough, and you can get everyone to believe it's the truth, including the liar. That's what they're doing. They're coming up with outright fabrications, distortions, outright lies. And they're telling it long and loudly, and we're buying into it. They also have managed to slime their ways into taking control of governmental entities so that the rest of us can't speak out. And I want to urge something. Please, if you're in a position to do so, have the courage on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter to set things up so you get to take these clowns in for violation of your First Amendment rights, violation of interstate commerce, violation of the principles of antitrust, and some other things, and get these media outlets declared public entities so they will be subject to free expression of ideas rather than soliciting and promoting rank porn of the worst type while obstructing, obscuring, and penalizing free speech when it comes to the exchange of important ideas. Thank you. I'll pass the mic.
All right. Thank you, Torm. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get to we got Original, and then we got Brother McCoos. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Greetings, everyone. Peace, Black Power.
What's going on?
Peace, Black Power, and reparations. Yeah, Judge Joe Brown, I want to also say too, I support you. And my reasoning for not believing this woman is that anytime you're going to accuse anyone of anything and you're going to use innuendos, I can't trust you. And if you see someone's name being disparaged in the media and you don't come out and say, oh, no, it's not them, I can't trust you. And see, I've had people to get angry with me because I tell them I am anti-feminism and I'm anti-Me Too. Those two platforms are nothing but in my opinion, they're designed to destroy the Black family. And I can't support either one of them. But I want to say I do support you, and I have made corrections on people that I've come in contact with. I said, well, how do you know it's him? I said, well, if someone's going to make an accusation like that, they need to be able to stand behind it and tell the truth. And so this is why, as I said to News Toter, last night, I have a friend of mine. He sat on a jury. He was on a jury on a rape trial, and he said that the woman that was claiming to be raped, he said she didn't seem credible. He said he could not, say that the guy was guilty because she didn't seem credible. And I think what they need to realize is that they're going to make it hard for themselves because they keep throwing these accusations out here. And when a woman really is attacked, nobody's going to believe her. And I do see that's what's going on. But I just want to reiterate that I do support you. And I just see this woman, just hearing this, I see her as being a liar. And the people that are pushing her to put this out there in a way where they know it's false. So I just see them as being liars. And I want to say, I think one of the reasons why, because I love how you push the manhood training, and I think people hate that because they do not want little Black boys to have anyone to look up to say, I want to be like him, unless they got a dress on and some pantyhose, then that's who they want to put in front of little Black boys these days, unfortunately. And so I just want to say, I support you and I will defend you.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. And you aren't just defending me, you're defending yourself. See, look, the woman never mentioned my name, but the inferences are so convenient to build up the book. And what that brings up is a more important issue, is why are we so wrapped up in following so-called celebrities who did not get their celebrity from leading the people, but from spending a lifetime of make-believe and fantasy. Just think about it. You are an adult and you're in your 60s, and your entire lifetime as an adult has been spent with make-believe and fantasy, not with the reality of day-to-day mandates when it comes to existence, providing support, security, and stability for people that you're obligated to. Just think about that. So we tend to give those people all of the credibility in the world to tell us how to resolve our problems, and they've never had to deal with our problems except when somebody's sitting on a leather couch in a five-star facilities bar saying, oh, Jamal, have you heard down on such and such street? Oh, I can't remember the name. Well, yes, Tommy, you're right. I've heard rumors too. What are they talking about? My God, I just don't understand. And when you listen to people like that who give you supposedly sage advice on how to operate in life, it's the wrong source. They're not heroes. They're not sheroes. They're fakes. They are expert at faking it so we become entertained. And as Julius Caesar said 260 some years ago, the Roman commoner won't care whether I've been made dictator for life. Quote, just give them bread and circuses and they won't care, unquote. In other words, feed them and entertain them. And we've been well fed and we get a lot of entertainment, and too many of us don't care. And that's what they count on. So just take what you hear with more than a grain of salt. How about the whole damn salt shaker? And see, by the way, I apologize. Sometimes I get carried away because I grew up in South Central and there's an overlay of veneer of civilization on me from what used to be the reality that I grew up in. So I might say MF, pimp, hoe, whatever, and I don't mean any offense. Excuse me. I was about to say that, or SOB, and say it all out, or MF, and whatever it might be. But, you know, we should be cautious about what we listen to, really. I pass the mic. Thank you.
Right, Judge.